Welcome to Unlimited Connects Coventry Pitch and Mix event. Thank you for joining us. My name is Isabella Tulloch Gallego. My pronouns are she, her. Just so you're aware, I'm a 30-year-old white woman with long blonde hair and I'm currently wearing a navy dress. I'm Programme Manager at Unlimited and we are thrilled to be partnering with Coventry City of Culture Trust to host this event, which is the second half of our Coventry Connect series. I'm going to now pass over to Ellen Booth, who's producer for Coventry City of Culture Trust, who will be leading us through the pictures today. So if Ellen is around.
Hi Isabella.
Hi, I will pass over to Ellen.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just briefly to say hello and welcome to everyone that's joining us. My name's Ellen Booth and I'm one of the producers for the City of Culture Trust. I'm a white woman, I'm in my late 20s. I have some tassely bright red earrings on today and a patterned shirt. And you might also hear or see some flies that have joined me for our session today. Yeah, it's really exciting that we've partnered with Unlimited. And for those of you that don't know, Coventry is the next City of Culture taking place next year in 2021. And we're really excited to be working in the city with local artists, local organisations, and also out in communities, in community centres, libraries, all across the different neighbourhoods in Coventry. But I'm really pleased today that we're able to share some pictures and conversations with artists, both locally, but also some national artists are here with us as well. So to kick off the event today in the first pitch, we have Jack Folks, and he's going to be supported by Open Theatre and Imagineer for his presentation today. So I'll take it over. I believe Beth is going to share her screen with us with some images as part of their presentation. So we'll give them a minute or so to get ready and we'll take it from there.
Can everyone see the PowerPoint? Is that okay? Can everyone see that?
Yes, thank you.
My name is Jack. I enjoy working part-time at Imagineer as a general assistant and an artist. I like painting as it relaxes me and I forget the time when I heard about a river running under Coventry. I thought of the frogs jumping out when it was uncovered. I was told there was a river flowing underneath Coventry, the River Cyborg. Part of the river will be uncovered and made a feature of the city in the City of Culture year 2021. Once they start uncovering the river, there will be frogs leaping out everywhere. River Cyborg. There are plans to open up the River Cyborg in the Butches first. I have seen plans for the red environment, which are very exciting.
So here we see a picture of the proposed development. The image contains large modern buildings with a lot of windows and people, with a cobblestone path and descending seating to the river.
My idea. I have designed and made some frogs with help from Imagineer Productions and Open Theatre. I have designed a sculpture of my leaping frogs that could go next to the river and a art trail through the city. And I got some money from City of Culture Get Ready Fund to help too. I like my frogs to appeal all over the city. Frogs will be hiding undercover in different parts of town centre.
So here is a photo of a Jack's Frog's prototype in green paper, based on Jack's drawings of an outline of a frog. The prototype design is quite angular, not soft like you might imagine a frog to be, more like the patterns you see in wrought iron gates. Jack's frogs have long, thin bodies with big round eyes, sticky out ears, and long, skinny legs. In this photo, we have Jack standing next to a framed prototype model of the sculpture with frogs jumping out of the river.
Frogs in the dark. We will light up the eyes of the frog so they glow in the dark.
This is a photo of Jack's proposed merchandise designs with a pile of brightly coloured paper t-shirts with frog designs on them. And this is a photo of Jack standing next to his exhibition frame in the Herbert Art Gallery. This frame contains various prototypes of frogs.
In September 2019, we hosted a meeting for people in Coventry to learn about my frogs. We talked to arts, professional and for general public. We collected a lot of ideas from people about what else to do with my frog. What if everyone in the city helped to think of ideas for frogs in the city? What if in 5 years' time the city was full of frogs that we had all helped to make? What if Coventry was known in the world for frogs and they were one of its major visitors attractions? Making contacts. I've also been talking to lots of people in the city, including Histrionic Coventry, Warwickshire Wildlife Trust, Friends of the River Sherborne, City of Culture, Coventry City Council, Public Art Gateway Group. Next phrase. The next phrase of my project is a feasibility studies to work with someone who knows about public art to help me plan my ideas and found some more money to help me do it.
So this slide has the logos for the companies supporting Jack, including City of Culture, Open Theatre, Imagineer and Media Mania. The final slide has a photo of Jack at the Monday Night Makers Group, which is run by Imagineer working on a frame. It also has Open Theatre and Imagineer's website addresses, as well as the hashtag Jack's Frogs and Open Theatre's tag for Twitter.
Thank you for listening to me. I would like to thank Imagineer, Open Theatre and City of Culture, who have all helped me with this idea. If you have any question at all, please ask me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack, for presenting today, and it was really exciting to hear a little bit more about Jack's Frogs. I'm sure we've got lots of people who are waving their hands and clapping with the symbols. So thank you very much, Jack, for joining us and sharing, and hopefully in the breakout group everyone will get a chance to hear a bit more and ask you some questions directly. So thank you very much.
Okay.
So we're moving on to our next artist and organisation. So I want to introduce Janet from Talking Birds. Janet, if you're going to do a few words before we will share a video with you. And you've got your...
Unmute. Yeah, I'll just say hello, my name's Janet, I'm from Talking Birds. Yes, I've pre-recorded everything, so you can press play. Hello, my name's Janet Vaughan and I'm one of the co-artistic directors of Talking Birds. I'm going to talk to you today about The Nest, which is a Talking Birds project. So who are Talking Birds? Well, we're a Coventry-based company of artists with a reputation for making gently provocative projects which explore and seek to illuminate the profound and complex relationships between people and place. Talking Birds is known for its creative use of empty spaces, such as the one shown in this photograph here, which was a project at the Coventry and Warwickshire Hospital as it closed down, a site-specific theatre piece. And the image is of a young woman in profile with her hands splayed out in front of her, palm towards us, and she's silhouetted by one of the lamps from the operating theatre at the hospital. Talking Birds is also known for its submersible mini theatre, The Whale, which you can see in the photograph on the left. It's a whale made out of patched together aluminium, and its mouth opens to allow audiences to go inside, and there are people queuing up to get inside. It's a mini theatre inside there. It's on the back of a trailer and it gets towed around to festivals. We're also known for championing accessibility, particularly through the development of our in-pocket captioning system, the Difference Engine, which you can see in the photograph on the right, captions being delivered to audience mobile devices. We're also known for our smaller sociable events, which bring people together for unexpected conversations in unusual places, quite often with food involved. So the three photographs show three different gatherings of people coming together to have food or to write poetry around our mobile conversation space, the cart. Talking Birds also convenes the F13 network of independent artists and organisations in Coventry and Warwickshire. So what is The Nest? Well, sometime next year, The Nest will be a real building. We're transforming an old industrial unit into a welcoming, climate-conscious home for Talking Birds and a shared workspace where we can support and grow our creative community. The photograph on the left of the screen shows the inside of the industrial unit as it is now. Basically a sort of fairly empty light industrial unit with a sawtooth roof where which has glass panels letting lots of light through. And on the right, the architect's sketch plan of what the nest will look like from the outside. You can still see the sort of sawtooth shape of the building there, and there are going to be a number of artist spaces and co-working spaces in that building when it's finished. So what are the nest residencies? They're flexible and supportive artist residencies. We think that what artists need most in order to make their work are space, paid for time, and inspiring conversations, and this is what the nest residencies aim to provide. On the screen I've put up photographs of 3 of our previous nest residents. On the left, Rosa Francesca, who is pictured with the brain monitor that she used in her project. Participants would put the brain monitor onto their head. It's like a kind of headband, and their brain activity was read by the monitor and fed through to a plotter which drew out the shapes of their brain waves on paper. Jazz Morton in the centre is seated at an interview table, and this was part of her project called Discursive Ability, which focused on the disabled voice. It was an audio piece that you sat at the table to listen to it. And Andy Sargent on the right is pictured in his studio among the drawings and paintings that he made during his residency, which are all aspects of a character he calls the monster. During the pandemic, providing space for artists has been a bit harder, so we've changed the nest residencies to remote nest residencies, and we're supporting with money and mentoring artists to work in their own spaces. These photographs show 3 more of the artists that have worked with us as residents: Sylvia Thury, Emily Woodruff and Mel Varin. Any artist or small company resident in England can apply for a nest residency, but priority is given to Midlands-based artists, and particularly to deaf or disabled artists living in the Midlands. The nest residencies are designed to be very flexible and to work around what you need in order to develop your idea. And the remote nest residencies on offer at the moment are hatching, which is a few days, or fledgling, which is up to a couple of weeks. And you can take the days all together or space them out to suit your project. The image on this slide is our illustration, which was done to show the nest residencies. So it starts on the left with a drawing of a light bulb, then an arrow which points to the words, "Got a creative idea you want to take to the next level?" Another arrow which points to a picture of a nest, and the words, "A residency at the nest could be for you." And then another arrow which points to a person flying, having fledged the nest. So Talking Birds is part of Arts Council England's national portfolio, and the nest residencies are a key part of our programme. Until the nest is a real place, we'll keep working with our friends and colleagues in the arts in Coventry to find suitable studios and spaces for nest residents after lockdown has loosened. And that will be after the remote residencies will switch back. And Talking Birds believes in making work in an environmentally sustainable way that puts access at the heart of its process. We'll prioritise residency proposals that are consistent with these values and or show a commitment to exploring them. Finally, for more info or to apply, please go to our website, which is talkingbirds.co.uk.
Thank you very much, Janet, for sharing and on behalf of Talking Birds. I wonder, Janet, if you could share the link maybe in the chat box to the nest residencies, just in case there is anybody that's wanting to find out more, that they can go direct to your website. So hopefully you can
yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, in the chat box. Great, thank you very much. So we're moving on to our 3rd pitch of the day, and I want to introduce Tarek, who's going to chat a little bit about Brownton Abbey. So I just want to check Tarek's with us.
I am.
You are, and would you like to start with your pictures, Tarek, or with your video?
I'm going to start with the pictures. So I'm just going to just give a little description of the images that I have first,
Great.
which I believe, Ellen, you're going to share.
Catherine is just probably going to get those up. So we're hopefully have our Zoom wizard that's working on it right now.
While that happens, I will just say hello. My name is Tarek El Mutawakil, and I'm here to talk to you about Brownton Abbey. A quick description of myself: I am a mixed race person with brown skin, a shaved head, a light beard and moustache, and a white Adidas top. Actually, white Adidas top with pink stripes. This image is an action shot of 4 people dancing on or low to the ground. There is a sense of movement conveyed by this image. One person has a fluorescent tasseled headdress which covers most of their face. The faces you can see are smiling and laughing. The people are performing inside a pink triangle which is taped onto the floor. The second image is an image of myself. It shows the upper parts of my body to below the waist. I have a fluorescent clothing on my lower half and a white shimmery top on, and I look joyful. I have white circular rimmed glasses on, green pom-poms attached to my head. The foreground of the image shows long white lengths of fabric attached to my wrist. In the background is a large balloon, which I'm holding. It has colourful fabric attached to it. And the third image, this image shows a body in profile standing on stage and mostly silhouetted by lights from behind. Central to the image is their headpiece, which is large and reflective. They are holding a large old-fashioned glass bottle with a stopper. And the fourth image. This image shows a black female British Sign Language interpreter with very short hair. It is close up. The photo is a close-up on her hands, which slightly obscure her face as she signs. There are bright stage lights in the background shining on a blue background. She is wearing custom-made Brownton Abbey clothing with gold tassels and a mesh shoulder embellishment. And the final image, this image shows the upper part of someone's body dressed in a mesh crop top. Above them is a translucent balloon with psychedelic colours inside and tassels hanging from the balloon. The tassels hang down onto the face of the person and they are looking towards the camera, but they're looking towards the tassels with a look of serenity on their face. So hopefully that gives you some aesthetics of the event. And I'm going to tell you what that was all about. So Brownton Abbey is the Afrofuturistic space church that centres, celebrates and elevates disabled queer people of colour. Born from the need to foster a creative public space that is healing and regenerative to Black and brown people who are marginalised further by their identities as queer disabled people, Brownton Abbey twists together a dance party, performance art and community engagement, creating a visionary, bold new world in which to play. A space in which we do not have to choose between parts of ourselves and can bring our whole glorious selves to the table, where we do not have to perform trauma in order to be seen as relevant or necessary, where our joy is an active form of resistance. Brownton Abbey simultaneously asks and answers the question, what could happen if people who are systemically othered were instead prioritised, centred and empowered? Brownton Abbey hosts and presents a collective of artists. Amongst others, we have worked with Ebony Rose Dark, Nima Sene, Sana, Ria Hartley, Rachel Young, Lasana Shabazz, Malik Nasad Sharp, amongst others. All of these are leading figures at the forefront of the UK's live art and dance and performance art scenes. International headliners have included Big Frida and the Uhuruverse. Brownton Abbey uses specially commissioned performances, live music, DJ sets, chill out space, handcrafted decor and costume, glowing lights, and playable sculptures to transform historically inaccessible spaces into beacons of intersectional inclusivity. It demonstrates a model that empowers systemically marginalised people in a non-tokenizing, embodied, celebratory fashion that has long-lasting impact. It brings people of all walks of life together and shows that you can be a minority and still be empowered. Brownton Abbey pays particular attention to accessibility from an intersectional perspective, making sure that all public and backstage areas are wheelchair accessible, that Black BSL interpreters are booked at every event, that bathrooms are gender neutral, that there are cheap and free tickets available for community members, that local queer, trans, intersex people of colour are an integral part of the proceedings, and that security have been briefed about inherent biases. We continually seek out barriers to access and remove them. Brownton Abbey is created by and centres disabled queer people of colour. This creates a clearer channel of communication with marginalised audiences that often feel they're not being spoken to by festival promoters, and has been successful in bridging the gaps between local queer, trans, intersex people of colour and art organisations / institutions. Brownton Abbey launched in Brighton Festival in 2018 with 700 audience members taking over the listed building. Since then, we have toured to Unlimited Festival at South Bank Centre, Cripping the Arts in Toronto, Take Me Somewhere Festival in Glasgow, and was scheduled to be part of a 7-date tour throughout this summer and the autumn, including Mayfest, Homotopia, and a return to Unlimited Festival. Currently, myself and Brownton Abbey producer Rob Jones are working on creating a blended model for Brownton Abbey, using live and digital performance, conversation, durational performance, and interactive VR technologies. The aim is to create a pandemic-proof tourable show that will be ready by the autumn of 2020. And to finish off, I believe, hopefully I have enough time just to share the video.
It's ready to go. Stand by.
Brief description. This video shows a compilation of images and short sections of films taken during Brownton Abbey. They include images of artists performing and members of the public watching performances and also dancing and having fun.
That was great. I felt like we had almost part of the party here with us today, Tarek. So thank you so much. I was actually lucky enough to see it down in Brighton. It was just such a celebration, joyful party. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us and joining us today. Thank you. I'm just going to check in with our two interpreters just to check that they're okay, if they need to switch over. Just check they're
We've swapped.
great. Just thought I'd check in. before our next organisation that have joined us today. So I want to introduce Mike from Dash Arts. So Mike, are you with us?
I'm with you, yeah. Can you hear me okay? Yep.
Yes, we can hear you all good, thank you.
Okay. Should I start?
Yes, please. That would be lovely.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's quite an act to follow, Tariq. Thank you. So I'm Mike Laywood, Artistic Director at Dash. We're a disability visual arts organisation based in Shropshire. I'm an older white man, Jewish man, old enough to know better, over 60, with a blue hat on my head, glasses, a very light beard and a lilac shirt. So I'm going to just run through a little bit of information about Dash and what we're doing now and a provocation. Oh, where is it? Okay, I've got it. Okay, full screen. Here we go. Okay, as I said, we're a disability visual arts organisation working with disabled visual artists and deaf visual artists. We're deaf and disabled led organisation, and we work with artists and galleries across England, but we also work in Wales, and we're working with one artist in Scotland. And our work is based on equality of opportunity. At the bottom of the slide is a square frame with a black image saying "Awkward Bastards 2", Rachel Gadsden, who's an international artist based in London. 3 images, the middle one of a sketch of a wheelchair user moving fast, another one, a face that's quite ghost-like, and then the other one is just a face with an outline. Quite hard to describe contemporary art sometimes. So our main work that's been going on from 2018, will run up now to 2022, is a curatorial residencies program at the MAC in Birmingham, MIMA in Middlesbrough, which is Middlesbrough Institute of Modern Art, and Wising Arts Centre, which is in Cambridgeshire. So each of those galleries has had a disabled curator based there. Anna Berry has finished at the MAC now, and in the slide there's an image of 4 paintings which are portraits painted by Tanya Arber, who you can see the back of her in a wheelchair. And this was at the MAC. This was Anna Berry's exhibition there, which was a lot of work taken from the National Archive of Disability Arts. And MIMA, Aidan Mosby has just started. He's on and off because obviously the gallery's in lockdown. And at Wising, Hannah Wallace is on hold until they can open up again, but she's working as their assistant curator. So that's brilliant. We've already had a success before she started. And the idea of this is we want to change the visual arts from the inside. We know it's got to change. It's a very hard art form to change because the hierarchical structure of the visual arts is something that I could speak for hours about. And curators have a big impact on what is shown in galleries. And so if we can start to create disabled curators who have got the confidence and the knowledge of working as a curator, we can start to change. And we'll also, by having a disabled curator within your institution, with those 3 institutions, that starts to change them and they become vanguards to other institutions. So since COVID-19, well, on this slide on the right, there's an image of a woman with her hands over her head and her mouth open screaming, which is Anna Benston, and she's a Swedish artist, a live artist, and it's her version of Edward Munch's Scream. And in the background, you can see mountains and blue sky. And that is our cover of our book, The Incorrigibles, which was perspectives on disability visual arts in the 20th and 21st centuries. So our main bit of work has been our mentoring program, which is UK-wide. There's been 34 disabled and deaf visual artists coming through that program. and it's still open. So I'll put a link to my email at the end. The second thing we've been working on is Art Influencers, which is an online art history course. We've never tried an online course before. would be quite resistant to it till lockdown happened. So this is an experiment because we know there's going to be massive access issues with this, trying to do something that's very practical and making art over doing that online. So we're using this as a sort of guinea pig experimentation that we'll evaluate, and from that we can look at a future 2-year foundation course. Because we're reckoning there's a lot of disabled artists who finish school, college, don't go on to higher education, and then become self-taught visual artists, but miss out on that big chunk of understanding the art history and the art movements. The curatorial commissions are carrying on, and we're supporting Shropshire-based disabled young artists with art packs. My provocation is that everything's going digital, which is great. I can work with an artist in Glasgow, an artist in Cardiff. I wouldn't be able to do that before. But who are we missing? Who are the artists that can't take part in these conversations? That digital doesn't work for them, or they're poor. Most artists are poor, but they're really poor. They haven't got the equipment. They might have a smartphone if they're lucky, but they're going to be working everything on a limited income. So this question of everything going digital, we just got to remember the people who are missing from that. It's been a great access for a lot of artists, disabled artists who were excluded, but the flip of the coin is there's a lot of artists being excluded at the same time. Okay, that's me done. Okay, stop share. Great.
Great, thank you so much, Mike. Again, if you would be willing to put some information about Dash in the chat box to share with everyone, that'd be really handy, particularly the course that you've got. If there's any more upcoming or anything that people can access, I'm sure there might be some local artists that have joined us today that might be interested. So thank you very much again for joining us today. I'm going to move on to our fifth pitch of the day, and we are joined by Rinku. And he's going to talk a little bit about his work. So let's see if Rinku wants to say anything just before his video.
I do have it ready to go if you'd like me to go straight into it, Rinku.
Rinku would like to introduce himself before he starts.
Yeah, Rachel's just checking, so yeah, great.
Yeah. So he's saying, hello everyone, my name's Rinku. And I'll just introduce myself briefly. I know I've only got a 7-minute pitch. So I've pre-recorded my pitch for you about my 2 research and development projects, and I'll be presenting in sign language, but there'll be an interpretive voiceover. Enjoy it. Thank you. Hello, my name is Rinku Barpaga. And I am involved in a wide variety of creative activities. But I want to talk to you about my theatre experience. So I got involved in theatre through stand-up comedy. I was funded by Deaf Explorer to travel over to New York and study stand-up comedy, because in the UK I'd faced a huge amount of barriers to studying stand-up comedy. So I did a few performances after my course in New York, and I came back to England and I carried on. And then I was commissioned by the Arts Council to make a one-man show talking about my experiences of New York called Am I Funny? And that performance did very well. I had sold out shows in London, Birmingham and Wolverhampton. So the tour did extremely well. I was then commissioned again by Arts Council to make another show called Made in India/Britain, and the word India was crossed out. And then at the same time, I was accepted into the Birmingham Reps Foundry Artist Development course. And I created Made in India at the same time. And this was directed by Daniel Bailey. And the previews of the show did extremely well. And the performances again were sold out. So I'm still looking to tour this work made in India around the UK, but I want to talk to you about two projects that I have in development currently. So I want to focus on the first project. It's called Bubble and Butch. This was initially funded by Unlimited, a £10,000 research and development grant. And the project was a mixture of live performance, theatre and film. So the story of Bubble and Butch was about a deaf character called Bubble, who's obese, he's lonely, he's 35, he doesn't have any friends, he doesn't have family that visit him, he's incredibly isolated. And you can imagine what we've been through in lockdown for the last 3 months. Well, this is Bubble's life. Every day of every year, he's on his own and isolated. So one day, an old school friend comes to visit Bubble out of the blue. Bubble's incredibly confused, but his friend asks him for a favour and asks him to look if he could look after his dog. And Bubble has never really been responsible for anything in his life, but his friend said, please, 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 will you look after my dog? And leaves Bubble with this incredibly mean looking dog. Bubble's in a state of panic. But as the story continues, Bubble really comes to appreciate the dog. The dog demands to go out for a walk, so Bubble has to take him outside. And at that time, Bubble never left the flat because there's a group of teenagers that bully him. But Butch barks at the teenagers. Bubble feels much better. A girl thinks that Butch is really sweet and gives Bubble her phone number. And Bubble's amazed. That's the first time anyone's ever given him a number to keep in touch. Bubble feels good. He's given a job as a security guard because he comes with the dog Butch, who looks really mean. So Butch becomes Bubble's lucky charm. At the end of the play, the friend comes back from holiday and wants Butch back. And Bubble's very worried. Is his life going to go back to the old ways? Is it going to go back to normal? So I'm looking for a co-commission for Bubble and Butch to continue developing. I've had Arts Council developing your creative practice money, and I'm working with Andrew Muir to develop the storyline and the script, so it will be ready to go into rehearsal. So that's one project I'm looking for support for. The other project is called Chocolate. And I found this story when I was visiting friends in the south of France. And I saw this story, Chocolate. I didn't really understand it because there was a lot of information written in French. So I asked my friend to translate it. And my friend said, oh, this is a story about the first black clown ever in the world. And I was amazed and really, really interested in it. And he was around in about the 1880s. And I wanted to know more about Chocolate. And Chocolate was the first black clown, but he also performed with a white clown called Footit. So they were a black and white clown duo. But unfortunately, to make the audience laugh, Chocolate was the brunt of all the jokes, the punches, the slaps, the slapstick comedy. And he would have to put up with this abuse in the circus ring. And I was amazed. I wanted to find out more about Rinku, about Chocolate's journey. And I wanted to see more about his life and his experiences. Unfortunately, a lot of records have been damaged, but I found some old black and white clips of Footit and Chocolate performing. I found out that Chocolate was born in Cuba. So I went to Cuba to do some research, and I wanted to look at the old areas in Havana to see if I could find out more information about Chocolate. And I was asking local people, does anyone know about Chocolate, the world's first black clown? And finally, I found a man who had known his family and had a big discussion with this person. But they said, unfortunately, Chocolate didn't know who his real parents were because he was sold into slavery. So he was sold in Havana to a Spanish slave trader when he was a baby. and the Spanish master took him to Spain and brought him up and actually prepared him to work as a butler. And that's where Chocolate's story really starts. Chocolate escaped from Spain and arrives in France and becomes a clown. And I was absolutely fascinated by Chocolate's experience. So I've got 2 seed commissions to develop Chocolate. I've got a seed commission from Camden People's Theatre, and I've also got a commission from Offside. And I'm looking at making this piece of work suitable for either indoors or outdoor performances. So I'm looking for a 3rd collaborator to develop Chocolate. I'm wondering whether there might be a venue in the East or West Midlands that might support me to develop this show. I'm going to do a research and development, when we're allowed, again, with a hearing white performer who studied at Lecoq School in Paris. So he's a physical theatre performer and a professional clown. He's quite different from me. Obviously, he's hearing, he's white, he can speak. I'm deaf, I'm brown, and I use sign language, and I'm a raw actor, whereas he's been highly trained at Lecoq. So I think there's something good there, some kind of chemistry there. So we're going to do some experimental work as a black and white clown duo. So I'm looking for bookings for Made in India / Britain. I'm looking for a co-commission for Bubble and Butch, support with rehearsal space and support to develop that, and also Chocolate. So that is my pitch today. Thank you.
So yeah, I want to introduce you next to Ego Performance Company. Nicola, do you want to say a short few words before we introduce the video? We've got, Nicola and Kyle with us from Ego, so I'll introduce you both together, and yeah, then hopefully we can share the video.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for this chance to show some of the work that we're really proud of. We have created a video with captions. Unfortunately, we don't have a visual auditory description and oversight on our part, but we would like to just explain in advance of the video that we've put together a montage of performance photographs with various members of Ego being interviewed in their homes. That was quite recent, so it's during the lockdown period. Some of our soap opera called Coronation Street features in this video, which was created during lockdown. A very interesting project created by our members using Zoom. And we have a montage of photographs of performances, all in black and white, in various costumes and characters. We have some slides in between, which if that is helpful for me to read either now or after, perhaps, to explain what we did, what we've been doing during the lockdown period. And I'm here with Kyle, who I work as the general manager. Kyle is also with me.
Hi, yeah, Kyle, I'm the new social media marketing officer for Ego. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to showing you this video that we've put together.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm working as a general manager for Ego, and Kyle and I began our roles during lockdown from our homes. We're completely new members of staff, although we have lots of involvement with Ego going back years. I'm happy for us to run the video, if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Nicola. I'm going to give this a go.
What I like most about Ego is that it's this wonderful, cheery community of like-minded people of all ages and backgrounds, and I make friends that I wouldn't have made anywhere else, and everyone's so creative and great to be around.
makes me feel good really, and like that I'm doing something worthwhile, helping people that need help and stuff, and knowing that I'm helping them and they're going forward with their lives and stuff.
I love coming to all the events at Ego. They're amazing. My favourite bit of Ego has to be meeting everyone in the group. First thing in the mornings when we come before the session starts. I love seeing everyone again.
When I get asked why do I like Ego, why do I go to Ego, it's because I feel that everybody is my friend. In fact, I don't just feel that everybody's my friend, I know that everybody's my friend. And I'm accepted and I can be myself.
They were housed in the Coventry Transport Museum first of all, so they were incredibly innovative working ways to do performances in a museum space. So some of the participants, the Ego members, would stay the night in the museum, for example. Ego began when two people, Corinne Emerson and George Egan, saw a need for some really exciting theatre for young people. And because there didn't seem to be for them that kind of opportunity in Coventry, they created a theatre group for it. Everything that seems to have happened in Ego has been because of what's needed, what Coventry's needed, or what the members that Ego as an organisation have worked with, what they've actually needed. So the kind of what Ego is and what it looks like, that's just shifted and changed so many times through the years that Ego's been around. What started as one group, again, just seemed to grow. And where we find ourselves now is an incredibly vibrant, diverse, exceptionally creative group of people who not only create theatre, but create art and music and costumes and props. Basically, it has evolved to become just a go-to place for all arts, really.
So we've got ideas around characters, which is great, and we've got a few little sort of like ideas around.
30, 31. Smashed it and relax.
My name's Kyle. I'm the social media and marketing officer.
I'm Casey de Groot and I'm the development manager.
I'm Nicola Cashin, I'm the brand new general manager.
So what has it been like for you to start in?
It has been very difficult working at home and kind of losing that, Ego's about the people really, and losing that has been really strange and difficult to kind of get my head around working at home. And it's also been amazing and kind of awe-inspiring really, the kind of creativity that is just oozing out of all of the people who use Ego and the members.
I agree, it's been so wonderful to kind of to just how quickly and how dedicated everyone's been to kind of, okay, we're all looking at how Ego needs us, what do we do? Ego has been a safe haven for so many of our not just our members, but our staff and volunteers as well. So it was important for us to do that.
It's been crazy, it's been a challenge, it's been a tall order, sort of accepting this challenge, but it's been the most, I love a challenge. I think we all love a challenge and we care so much about what we do at Ego. We're passionate. We love the work, we love the people, we love the members, everybody who's involved.
There's nobody really knows what the future holds, but we're just trying to be as resilient as we possibly can. As an organisation, a small independent charity, we are facing jeopardy. We are going to be really reliant on funding. It really depends on when we can get back working, with our members.
And the thing is, the way we've always worked is by keeping moving forward, and you've just got to keep your eye on the future, make sure you're ready for it when it gets unlocked for us, really.
The future is it's looking quite good actually for Ego, if we can, like everybody, find the finances. But we have completely changed our business model. Yeah, excited about doing the showcase, excited about starting to work on Pirates of the Canal Basin, which we will hopefully be producing for City of Culture. I'm working with hopefully No Fixed State Circus.
Great, hopefully you could see the video images just enough. We might work out if we can share the video with those that attended today, just in case you had any lags there, that we can share that with you and have that up for a week or so people can check it out later after the event's finished. And yeah, so finally for our kind of 7th slot before we have a break, I want to introduce Alistair from Unlimited. So is Alistair with us?
I am.
Great.
Hello.
Take it away.
Can everyone hear or see me, respectively?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Hopefully everyone can, yeah.
I'm Alistair. I work at Unlimited. I am a white-ish man with a bald head, a beard. I'm wearing glasses and a pink shirt. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about Unlimited and our new commissions for artists in the Midlands. Okay. Unlimited is a commissions program that funds disabled artists and disability-led projects, and it's delivered through 2 organisations, Shape Arts and Arts Admin. I'm normally based at Arts Admin in East London. Since 2013, Unlimited has provided over £4 million to 280 disabled artists through commissions. I think it's more than that now, actually, but awards and support, making it the largest supporter of disabled artists in the world. And there was an image here, which is Cherophobia by Naomi Lackmeyer, which is 20,000 multicoloured helium balloons suspending the artist off of the stage in the middle of Sydney Opera House, which is empty. Yeah, it's been funded by Arts Council England, Spirit of 2012, which was related to the Olympics, the Arts Council of Wales and the British Council. So the priorities, our key aims and messages are that we produce high quality work by extraordinary artists, that we want to embed disabled artists in the cultural sector, and that we want to transform the perception of disability, particularly obviously disabled artists. I was trying to make a portmanteau word there unintentionally. We've supported a range of work by disabled artists, from fully completed and touring work to work that's in development. There's an example here, which is a large-scale outdoor installation, Anna Berry's Breathing sculpture, which is hundreds of white paper cones in a kind of curving tunnel. Like, it looks like being on the inside of a cave because the light shines through it from the outside. There's also visual arts. There's a picture here, which I'm seeing and nobody else is, of Shawanda Corbett's research and development project called Cyborg Ceramics, which is one of her textured ceramic bowls painted roughly in white and red glaze. We support performance and music.
You can see this now.
Ah, okay. Can you click through, Isabella, while they...
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, we're looking at Para Orchestra's immersive performance, Nature of Why, which is a clarinet player surrounded by a circle of dancers. Some of them are low down, some of them are higher up. And the audience is standing very closely around them on the same stage. And all the work, we want the artists and the producers and the venues to consider access for audiences as well as for artists. So we work through a network of allies, which includes arts organisations, festivals, promoters and friends who support the aims of Unlimited and want to change the cultural sector to champion disabled artists. And the image is from Viva Carnival's Allegria Samba School, which is, it looks to me like on the South Bank in London. 2 dancers in brightly coloured green carnival costumes, lots of feathers, headdresses. Yeah, looks like, yeah, I wasn't there. This looks like a great time. Yeah, I'm always down for headdresses and feathers. Okay, so this is a new thing that's being announced today officially, fully. Micro Awards, these are specifically from Unlimited and Coventry City of Culture Trust. So we're offering 10 Micro Awards of £1,000 for artists based in the region to either create new work, enhance their skills, buy equipment or materials, or explore different creative processes. So it's pretty open. The criteria mainly are that, again, it be disability-led, that there's some sense of innovation and ambition in the proposal, and it's open to disabled people based in or regularly working in a CV postcode, Coventry, obviously. These link to Coventry 2021's theme of reform the norm, providing an opportunity to challenge past and existing norms to replace them with something better. Yeah, so Coventry 2021 particularly encourages work that explores the environment, nature and green futures, the public realm and public spaces, digital or community collaboration and co-creation, or some combination of these. These focuses are embedded in Coventry 2021's programmes and plans. Yeah, and for Unlimited alumni, yeah, we've got another round, which is people who have worked with us or had some contact with us previously. There's another round of commissions coming up at the end of July, micro commissions, and our main commissions and R&D and emerging artists award applications will be open in the autumn of this year. So keep in touch for that. That's open to everyone. So there's 3 strands: main commissions between 20,000 and 80,000, R&D awards 2,000 to 10,000 pounds, and emerging artist awards 2,000 to 10,000 pounds. So at least 3 of these awards in partnership with Coventry 2021 will be emerging artist awards just for disabled artists living or working in Coventry. So again, CV postcode. The rest of these, some of them will be open to people in other regions of the UK. Some of them will be open to anybody, anywhere in Scotland, Wales and England. Yeah, and here's how to contact us if you want to. Our website is weareunlimited.org.uk. Twitter is @weareunlimited, Facebook /weareunlimited, and our email address, unsurprisingly, info@weareunlimited.org.uk. Yes, that's it. Hopefully that was short, sharp and focused, and we are done. Sorry for the technical hitch.
Thanks, Alistair. Okay, well, that's really all from us. I just wanted to sort of refresh around those 10 micro commissions for the Coventry-based disabled artists or companies. More information will be coming on websites soon, so stay tuned. And really just a massive thanks to Jack, Janet, Tarek, Mike, Rinku, and all the guys from Ego for pitching today and showing the amazing work that they're doing. And also a massive thank you to Rachel, Claire, Victoria for BSL support, and Katie for captions, and really thank you to the Coventry team at Coventry City of Culture Trust and my team at Unlimited for helping me, and more importantly, thank you all for actually coming today and sort of being part of this conversation and seeing what people are up to. Hopefully we've started some conversations and they can keep going, and yeah, looking forward to see what work comes next. All right, Ellen, did you have anything you wanted to say before we close?
No, that's a wrap. Just to say, yeah, please do check our website for the micro commissions. We're hoping to launch these in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, please do get in touch. I'll put my email address in the chat box if anybody wants to contact me directly as well. But yeah, just another thank you to all our pitchers.
Great.